My dear students, welcome back to our channel. In this video, I will be explaining the MBA second semester subject Business Research Methods as prescribed by Osmania University, Palamuru University and other universities of Telangana. We will go through the important questions and answers one by one. Let's begin with a quick revision. Unit 2 first important short question is Research Process. The research process is a step-by-step method to find answers to a question or solve a problem using facts and evidence. Steps in the research process. 1. Identify the problem. Clearly define what you want to study. Example, a company wants to know why sales are dropping. 2. Review literature. Study previous research to get background knowledge. 3. Form hypothesis. Make a possible explanation or prediction. Example, sales dropped because customers prefer online shopping. 4. Choose research design. Decide how to collect and analyze data. 5. Collect data. Use surveys, interviews, or observation. 6. Analyze data, organize, and study the collected information. 7. Interpret results. Understand the meaning of the data. 8. Report findings. Present results in a report or presentation. Simple tip. Think of it like cooking. You first decide the dish, problem, collect ingredients, data, cook, analyze, and finally serve, report. Next important short question is 2. Questionnaire design, questionnaire layout. Questionnaire design and layout. A questionnaire is a set of questions used to collect information from people for research. Questionnaire design means planning what questions to ask, how to ask them, and in what order. Good design ensures clear, simple, and unbiased questions. Example, instead of asking why don't you like our product? Negative tone, ask what changes would improve our product? Positive tone. Questionnaire layout means arranging the questions in an easy-to-read and logical format. Start with a short introduction, purpose and instructions. Begin with simple, interesting questions to grab attention. Group similar questions together. Use clear numbering and enough space for answers. Tip, think of it like making a friendly WhatsApp chat. Start with high intro, then ask simple things, then go deeper. A good questionnaire design plus neat layout is equal to more accurate answers and happy respondents. Next important short question is 3. Question content, wording. Question content means deciding what to ask so the question is useful for the research. Every question should have a clear purpose. Avoid adding just for curiosity questions because they waste time. Example, if you are studying tea drinking habits, asking do you like watching movies is irrelevant. Question wording means how to write the question so people understand it easily. The language should be simple, polite, and free from confusion or bias. Avoid technical terms or double meanings. Bad, do you consume caffeinated beverages? Better, do you drink tea or coffee? Tips for good wording. Keep it short and clear. Avoid leading questions. Don't push the person toward a certain answer. Use everyday words people relate to. Think of it like talking to a friend. You choose the right topic, content, and speak in clear, friendly language, wording. This makes answers more accurate and honest. Next important short question is 4. Sampling design and sampling techniques. Sampling design is the plan for choosing a small group, sample, from the whole population to study. Since studying everyone is costly and time-consuming, researchers select a representative sample. A good design ensures the sample reflects the population accurately. Example, If a school has 1000 students, you might study only 100 who represent all classes and genders. Sampling techniques are the methods used to choose the sample. 1. Probability sampling. Everyone has an equal chance of being selected. Example, lottery method, random number generator. 2. Non-probability sampling. Selection is based on convenience or judgment. Example, asking only friends or easily available people. Key tip, a well-chosen sample saves time, reduces cost, and gives reliable results. Think of it like tasting a spoon of curry before serving. If that spoon tastes right, you can trust the whole dish is cooked well. Next important short question is 5. Pilot study and pretest. A pilot study is a small trial run of the actual research. It helps check whether the research plan, methods, and tools will work smoothly. This way, problems can be spotted early. Example, before launching a nationwide survey, a company may test it with 50 people to see if the questions are clear. A pretest is a trial of the questionnaire or data collection tool on a small group from the target audience. The aim is to check if questions are understood as intended, if the wording is clear, and if the sequence makes sense. Example, if a health survey question is misunderstood, it can be reworded before the final survey. Why it matters? Both pilot study and pretest act like rehearsals before the main performance. They save time, money, and prevent major mistakes in the main research. Think of it like tasting your recipe before cooking for a big party, better to fix issues early. Next unit 2. Long questions. First important long question is, what are the different sources of primary data and secondary data? V.imp. Sources of primary data and secondary data. In research, data can come from two main sources, primary and secondary. 1. Primary data. This is data collected first-hand by the researcher for a specific study. It's like fresh vegetables from the farm, collected directly for your cooking. Sources of primary data. Surveys and questionnaires, asking people directly through structured questions. Example, a company asks 500 customers about their satisfaction level. Interviews, face-to-face or phone conversations to collect detailed answers. Example, a researcher interviews farmers about crop problems. Observation, watching people's actions or events. Example, observing how shoppers behave in a supermarket. Experiments, conducting tests to measure reactions. Example, trying two different product packages to see which sells more. 2. Secondary data. This is data collected by someone else earlier but used by the researcher for their study. It's like using stored pickles or canned food already prepared, you just make use of it. Sources of secondary data. Government reports, census data, economic surveys. Example, population figures from the Census of India. Published books and journals, academic studies, and research papers. Example, reading a journal article on rural marketing trends. Company records, sales reports, employee data. Example, using last year's sales figures for trend analysis. Online databases and websites, statistics, research papers, and industry reports. Key difference. Primary data fresh, accurate, but costly and time-consuming. Secondary data quick, cheaper, but may be outdated or not fully suitable. Example to remember. If you want to know students' opinion about hostel food. Primary data, you personally ask them. Secondary data, you read last year's student feedback report. Both sources are important. like fresh vegetables and stored pickles, depending on your research recipe. Next important long question is 2. Data collection methods. In research, data collection means gathering information to answer questions or solve problems. Without good data, research is like making tea without water, impossible. There are two main types of data collection methods. 1. Primary data collection methods. Data collected first-hand directly from the source. A. Surveys asking people questions through forms or online. Example, a bank sends a Google form to customers about their satisfaction. B. Interviews face-to-face, phone, or video call discussions to get deep answers. Example, interviewing shop owners about festive sales. C. Observation, watching actions or events without interfering. Example, observing how customers choose vegetables in a market. D. Experiments, conducting trials to see cause and effect. Example, changing product packaging to check which design sells better. E. Focus groups, small group discussions for opinions. Example, discussing a new mobile app with 10 students. 2. Secondary data collection methods. Data collected earlier by someone else, used for your research. A. Government sources, census data, economic surveys. Example, using RBI reports for banking statistics. B. Books and journals, published academic studies. Example, reading a marketing journal for consumer trend analysis. C. Company records, internal sales or HR reports. Example, checking last year's attendance records for employee punctuality. D. Online databases and websites, digital sources with stored data. Example, using World Bank data for an economics project. Choosing the right method. If you need fresh and specific data, primary methods. If you need quick and low-cost data, secondary methods. Example to remember. Imagine you are researching college canteen food quality. Primary method, you personally ask students and taste the food. Secondary method, you read last year's canteen review report. Summary table. Method type, advantages, disadvantages. Primary, accurate, specific, time consuming, costly. Secondary, quick, cheap, may be outdated, less specific. Good researchers often mix both methods for best results, like blending fresh tea leaves with milk powder for the perfect chai. Next important long question is 3. Types of data collection. In business research, collecting data is like gathering ingredients before cooking. Without the right data, you can't prepare a proper analysis. Broadly, there are two main types of data collection. 1. Primary data collection. This is fresh data collected by the researcher directly from the source for the first time. It is specific to the research problem. Methods. Surveys, asking questions using forms or online tools. Example, a company sends Google forms to customers about product satisfaction. Interviews, talking directly to people for detailed answers. Example, interviewing farmers about crop prices. Observation, watching people's behavior without interference. Example, observing how customers shop in a mall. Experiments, trying out changes and seeing results. Example, testing to different advertisements to see which works better. Focus groups, group discussions for opinions. Example, asking a group of students about a new canteen menu. Advantages, accurate, specific, reliable. Disadvantages, time-consuming, costly. 2. Secondary data collection. This is existing data collected earlier by someone else, used for your research. It is quick and less expensive, but may be outdated. Sources: Government reports, census, RBI statistics. Example, using government health survey data. Books and journals, academic or industry publications. Example, reading marketing research articles. Company records, past sales, HR files. Example, using last year's sales report for trend analysis. Online databases, websites with ready-made data. Example, downloading World Bank GDP data. Advantages: saves time, easily available. Disadvantages: may be less accurate, not specific to your study. How to remember? Think of primary data as cooking with fresh vegetables, collected directly, and secondary data as using ready-made frozen vegetables, collected earlier. Both can make a tasty dish, but freshness versus convenience is the trade-off. Summary table. Type nature example. Primary first-hand surveying customers. Secondary pre-collected using government census data. A smart researcher often mixes both to get the best results. Next important long question is 4. Target population identification. In business research, the target population means the entire group of people or items you want to study to solve your research problem. It's like deciding who exactly do I need information from before starting the data collection. Why it's important? If you select the wrong group, your results will be misleading. Correct population identification ensures that the research findings match reality. Example: if a company wants to launch a new energy drink for college students, the target population is college students, not all people in the city. Steps to identify target population. 1. Define the research objective. Clearly state what you want to find out. Example, know the taste preferences of college students for a new drink. 2. Decide the population unit. The who or what you are studying: people, households, companies, etc. Example, individual college students. 3. Set boundaries. Geographic boundary. Area covered. Example, colleges in Hyderabad. Time boundary, when the data will be collected. Example, data from the current academic year. 4. Check for specific characteristics. Age, gender, income, profession, or education level. Example, students aged 18 to 25. Types of target population. Homogeneous population, members have similar characteristics. Example, employees in a specific IT company. Heterogeneous population, members have varied characteristics. Example, residents of an entire city. Common mistakes in identification. Choosing to broad a group wastes time and money. Choosing to narrow a group misses important insights. Easy way to remember. Think of it like ordering clothes online. First, know what you want, research objective. Choose size, style, and brand characteristics. Set delivery location, geographic boundary. If you don't pick correctly, the fit won't be right, just like wrong research results. Summary table. Step action example. 1. Define objective study drink preferences. 2. Choose unit college students. 3. Set boundaries Hyderabad colleges. 4. Select characteristics age 18 to 25. Correct target population identification is the foundation of reliable research. Next important long question is 5. Explain about the different steps in sampling process. Steps in the sampling process. In business research, sampling means selecting a smaller group from a big population to study, so we can save time, cost, and effort while still getting accurate results. But to make sure the sample represents the whole population, we follow a step-by-step process. 1. Define the population. First, clearly identify who or what you want to study. Example, if a company wants to know the feedback on its new mobile app, the population is all users of that app. 2. Choose the sampling frame. This is the list or source from which the sample will be taken. Example, a database of registered app users. 3. Decide the sampling method. Select how you will choose the sample. Probability sampling, random selection, example, simple random, stratified, cluster. Non-probability sampling, based on convenience or judgment. Example, randomly picking 500 users from the database. 4. Determine the sample size. Decide how many people items you will include. The size should be big enough to be reliable but small enough to be manageable. Example, 500 users for feedback. 5. Select the sample. Actually choose the participants using the decided method. Example, using random number generator to select 500 IDs from the list. 6. Collect the data. Approach the selected sample and gather the required information. Example, send an online survey link to those 500 users. 7. Check for errors. Before analysis, check if the sample truly represents the population. Remove biased or incomplete responses. Easy way to remember PFMSSC. P. Population definition. F. Frame selection. M. Method choice. S. Sample size. S. Sample selection. C. Data collection. E. Error check. Example summary table. Step action example. 1. Define population all app users. 2. Sampling frame user database. 3. Method simple random. 4. Size 500 users. 5. Selection random IDs. 6. Data collection online survey. 7. Error check remove incomplete forms. Following these steps ensures your sample gives results that are accurate, reliable, and cost-effective. Next important long question is 6. Sampling procedure and types. In research, studying an entire population is often costly and time-consuming. That's why we use sampling, selecting a smaller group that represents the whole population. Sampling procedure. How sampling is done. 1. Define the population. Clearly decide who or what you are studying. Example, all students in a university. 2. Select a sampling frame, the list or source from which the sample will be taken. Example, university student records. 3. Choose a sampling method. Decide whether to use probability or non-probability sampling. 4. Determine sample size. Decide how many people items to include for reliable results. 5. Select the sample. Use the chosen method to pick participants. 6. Collect the data. Approach them for surveys, interviews, etc. Types of sampling. 1. Probability sampling. Everyone has an equal chance of selection unbiased. Simple random sampling. Pick names randomly. Example. Draw 50 student names from a box. Stratified sampling. Divide population into groups, strata, and sample from each. Example. Take students from each department. Cluster sampling. Select entire groups at random. Example. Randomly select 3 classes and survey all students in them. Systematic sampling. Select every nth person from the list. Example. Pick every 10th name from the roll. 2. Non-probability sampling. Selection is based on convenience. Judgment may have bias. Convenience sampling. Choose whoever is easily available. Example. Surveying friends. Judgmental sampling. Researcher selects those who seem most suitable. Example, asking only top scorers for opinion. Quota sampling. Choose specific numbers from categories. Example, 10 boys and 10 girls. Snowball sampling. Existing participants refer new ones. Example, one student introduces another. Memory tip. PSCS. P. Probability types: simple, stratified, cluster, systematic. S. Special cases in non-probability: snowball, convenience, judgment, quota. By following the sampling procedure and choosing the right type, researchers get results that are reliable, cost-effective, and easy to collect.